We've hardly seen Steph Curry on the court this season, but he's still managing to make some news. He was on the All the Smoke podcast with our guys, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, shout out to them, and offered up his all-time starting five. So let's take a look. We've got Magic Johnson, no argument. Michael Jordan, no argument. Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, and Shaq. So, Scottie, do you think Steph was throwing a little shade at LeBron there?
No, not at all. I mean, you look at that, that's some great Hall of Famers there, and you know, Steph kind of grew up watching the game, being a son of an NBA player, so he's seen some great basketball in his time. And, you know, not to knock LeBron in any way, but any of those players he can or cannot replace. So
right.
It's not really a knock at LeBron.
Yeah, and I think, too, you notice it was nobody that was current on the list. And I would tweak it a little bit myself. I think I would go, it's hard to leave Kobe and Kareem off that for Bird and Shaq. So that's just my team. And I love both of those guys. Bird and Shaq are amazing, but Kobe Bryant, 5 titles, did what he did from a scoring standpoint. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the most
all-time leading scorer.
I mean, come on, man. It's like people forget about Kareem.
Right. So if you're going with the retired guys, those are the two guys you're replacing.
Yes.
But I'm going to go and say, as someone who hosts talk shows every day, he's throwing some shade at LeBron because they've been competitors. You know what I'm saying? They've met each other 4 times in the finals. Yeah, he got 3. LeBron got 1.
I'm going to say this. When you're in between the lines against players, you're never going to put them up there with the great.
Right.
Maybe when he leaves the game and LeBron is gone and he can look back, but you're never going to give a guy credit when you're in between the lines.
Right, and that's what I mean. Is because they've been competitors. So I can see him where I think it could be a little bit of both. I'm not putting a guy who I'm competing against still, and who I've competed against for championships, and then, you know, I could tweak him a little bit, you know.
And on the backside of that, I've never seen LeBron put Steph on one of the great teams.
Exactly. I think
vice versa.
There's a nice little rivalry there, obviously, between those two teams and those two particular gentlemen. Staying with Steph and the All the Smoke podcast, the topic of the 2009 draft came up, and Steph shed some light on where he wanted to be drafted at that particular time and where he thought he was headed. So check it out. He said, thinking back, I wanted to go to New York, and I thought I was going to New York. So, Fizz, are you surprised to hear this?
No, not at all. I mean, I was in the same boat. I wanted to be in New York. I mean, it's New York City, man, and it's the Knicks, you know. And so I'm not surprised at that at all. And I think no matter where he landed, he was going to be Steph Curry. I do think landing with his Splash brother and Draymond obviously helped elevate him, but I think no matter what, that kid was going to be a baller. And I think not going to New York, he might have lost a little money, because could you imagine his marketing? His face is all over Times Square and Madison Square Garden. So, no, he would have been a show in New York City.
Scottie, I'm going to ask you, you feel bad for the Knicks here in this situation?
I really don't feel bad for the Knicks ever under any situation other than when they fired coach.
There you go.
I feel bad for them because I didn't feel like they gave him a fair shake. But in this situation, you know, I think Steph would have been a great Broadway show for the Knicks, but unfortunately it didn't happen that way, and they're still dealing with a lot of years of bad luck.
Spoken like a true Chicago boy.
There you go. There you go. That's that rivalry stuff we were just talking about with Steph and LeBron. It's still there.
It lingers.
Now, for producer Steve, who produces this show, also a lifelong Knicks fan, we've kind of had this conversation numerous times, I feel like. It's Steph wanted to play in New York, you know, KD and Kyrie. Feels like every so often we're talking about guys that could have been a Knick and then ended up not becoming Knicks.
Yeah, I think it's that at some point it will land, and you know, it takes a special kind of player to have the pulse and the kind of blood you need to be to step on that stage every night and perform.
There you go. Keep your head up, producer Steve.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.